Hello, it's Dr. Cinema. Well, I originally planned on doing this earlier this week, but today I found out I got a 20th subscriber. So I suppose I should do something special. I got a new movie poster. The Valerian poster. Now I know that technically it's not a good movie, but I couldn't tell just by watching this the first time that it's gonna become a cult classic. And plus, there's just something with the fact that's just so 90s, like lack of character development, obvious symbolism, and and metaphors that anyone can spot. There's just something so 90s about it, despite the whole impressive visuals, which are truly impressive. So yeah, I got a poster for that. What else? Quachi. Quachi. He's gonna be joining us today. Let me just put you inside here. Alright, there you go. Quachi's joining us today. You can't call them that. What's wrong with you? So yeah, it's December, which means it's the Christmas season, or holiday season, depending on what winter holiday you celebrate. This is off to a great start. So yes, there's just something about the holidays, especially in winter, that's just so happy, magical, and a time of life lessons. So we're taking two of the most famous Christmas-related movies, and we're putting them up against each other in a fight. That's how I celebrate. God damn it. Anyway, these two movies, It's a Wonderful Life, going up against A Christmas Story. 5 rounds. Let's do this. So, the story of It's a Wonderful Life is a man who's going through some troubles in his life, ends up wishing that he never existed, and the angel Clarence grants him his wish, and he sees what life would be like if he never existed, or if he died. It's been a while since the last saw the movie, so forgive me if I'm forgetting a couple of details. And once he realizes what really happens, he ends up wishing that he is alive because he appreciates it more. The story of A Christmas Story, it's actually pretty much what it's been advertised as. A kid talking about this one particular Christmas time back in his childhood, as narrated by the more adult version of the kid, is talking about just the usual kid things kids usually do around Christmas time and such. So, both of these stories are really memorable. But with The Christmas Story, it's in a way a little unfocused because it doesn't really have like that much, nothing like significantly important about the Christmas season to say, other than kids are still kids just in Christmas, I suppose. With A Wonderful Life, it's an iconic story, and even if you haven't seen the movie, you know the setup of the story when you hear it, and you can recognize it immediately. So, point goes to the one from the 30s. So let's go on to round 2. Cast. Shut up. Anyway, the cast includes the father, husband, his wife, child, and of course, Clarence. Well, how come the only guy I can remember is Clarence? Now, the cast of A Christmas Story, I can't remember the names of these guys either. You got the kid, his younger brother, his mother, his father, friends, the grumpy Santa. Now, here's the thing with the cast. As you can tell, I don't really remember the characters' names that well, let alone the actors. However, there's something about the cast of A Christmas Story that's recognizable. Like, even if you can't remember the name, or you really haven't seen the movie in its entirety, once you see a picture of the main kid from Christmas Story, you'd be like, oh, that's the guy from Christmas Story, yeah. And while there are certainly the actors who did their job in Wonderful Life did a good job, that's really well structured, they did a good job in It's a Wonderful Life. But there's just something about the cast of A Christmas Story that's just A little bit more recognizable, I suppose. Point goes to this one. Let's go on to round 3, atmosphere. Now, based on the stories of these movies, It's a Wonderful Life seems actually kind of dark. Like, yeah, a life where he never really existed or he died. It's kind of dark and scary. Level 1 point where when he asked what happened to his wife, the angel said she never married. She's never married. And he goes, oh no, how terrible. Ugh, sexism. Now, the atmosphere of A Christmas Story actually does a pretty good job of focusing on the kid aspect of this movie. Like, this is actually stuff I can see kids from this time period doing. And it really just captures the youthfulness and the child innocence of the Christmas time. So, with that being said, point goes to Christmas Story in the lead so far. Yeah, stop making your bets. Anyway, round 4, relevance. Now, Christmas Story has always been talked about, pretty much to the point of death, to the point where it become really over-merchandised with even a horrible sequel. Now, the Christmas Story is still relevant because of like the whole childlike aspect of it, and the main focus being the kid. With the relevance of Wonderful Life, it really talks about how important people may or may not actually be in the grand scheme of things. It really shows that even if you take something out, that it will still have a pretty large effect on everything. Like, it's been parodied and satirized in an episode of That 70s Show, in the episode of Fairy Godparents, in the episode of American Dad. I mean, it's actually been used a lot, actually. And Christmas Story came out at a time where there were actually quite a few movies that were focused on, like, the kids. Stand By Me, The Goonies. So, it's really not that particularly spotlighted in the grand scheme of things. So I'm glad to give this round to Wonderful Life. Now let's move on to the 5th round. You ready for this, boy? You ready? I'm just gonna... screw it. Don't know why this is better. Message. 5th and final round. The message of the movie. This is where Christmas Story is at a disadvantage. Like I said earlier, it's a really well-liked Christmas movie. I have no problem against it. But the whole story and message seems to be a little unfocused, because I'm not really sure what the message of this movie is supposed to be. I mean, the narrative says this is the best Christmas he remembers having, but he pretty much almost hurt himself once he actually got his gift, which was like a BB gun. Which is exactly what people told him would happen to him if he actually got that gift. So, not really sure what the point is. Where even if you get what you want, you still end up in hurting yourself in some way? I don't know. With The Wonderful Life, it's about, realizing just how important you are. How important you mean to the people around you. And while that is corny and nowadays cliche, it was really important. It's still really important, and it fits with just the overall themes and message of Christmas season in general. So, yeah, obviously with that said, Wonderful Life wins the round and the movie face-off. So yeah, like I said, both of these are really famous and really popular Christmas stories. So, yeah, I know I didn't really do anything that special with this video since I did just get my 20th subscriber. But I will tell you this. Get out of here. You're annoying. So constricting. Anyway, so later this month, I have a special play-by-play movie review coming your way. Now, I'm not going to say what it is because it might ruin the whole thing, but just remember, this is going to be a very special review. But that's going to be in the future. In the meantime, I'm Dr. Cinema. The Christmas/holiday season has just begun, So stay tuned for more of these holiday-themed movies and specials coming your way. Dr. Cinema, see you next time.